In today's video, we're gonna find out why a fat person who wants to lose weight is fatphobic, because that makes a lot of sense. Another day, another weird take from a TikToker. He got scared from me slamming the helmet a couple times. I guess we'll just move on with the video with him here. Oh. Now he has opinions to share. Thank you for coming up here. Thank you for the visit. Very nice. But what I'm going to be talking about today is a TikToker who believes if you want to lose weight, you are fatphobic. From what I can gather, the person we're talking about today, their stance is it's okay to work out if you want better heart health and joint health and so on. But if you just want to work out to lose weight, you're fatphobic. Yeah, I thought that was odd and could be an interesting topic for a video. So without further ado, let's watch this video.
If you decided to work out in order to change your body's appearance to avoid weight stigma, that is still fatphobia. Fat people can be fatphobic. Skinny people can be fatphobic. I'm fatphobic, and it's no one's fault. We are conditioned to hate fat people. If that's why you started and that's why you're still going, then cool, great for you. Working out is still really good for you, no matter the reason. But I hope one day you learn to love fitness for the actual health benefits, like for your heart and your joints and your muscles. Not just because you look a certain way.
My knee-jerk reaction is, who cares what other people are doing as long as it's not affecting anyone? But sure, I mean, I kind of get what she's saying to a certain extent. Here's where I guess my problem is with her stance. I just believe that everyone is entitled to look the way they want to look. It doesn't really matter what that is. I guess a more recent and prominent topic is, I guess, like lips. Some women want to have very big lips and others want to have smaller lips. Whatever you do is up to you. Essentially, I believe people have the right to look the way they want to because society shouldn't really dictate what they actually want to look like. If you just want to look more lean and get healthier in the process, isn't that just a double win? I feel like so many people just want to like point the finger at someone and say, you're bad for doing that thing, simply because they're just so bored. Calling a fat person fatphobic because they want to lose weight is the most smooth brain antic I've seen in a while. But the videos, they continue.
I'm not fatphobic. I don't hate fat people. I just personally don't want to be fat. Preferences are valid, but they don't come out of nowhere. What makes you want to avoid fatness so bad? You're kidding, right? Everyone knows fat's unhealthy. They get diseases like type 2 diabetes and then die at the age of like 35. Actually, previous research failed to account for lifestyle type. Research now suggests that it's not the actual fat on your body that determines your risk for disease. It's actually the habits that you engage in on a day-to-day basis. That doesn't make sense. If fat people had healthy lifestyles, they wouldn't be fat. That would be true if we actually had control over the size of our body, but research suggests that we actually don't. And when we try to intervene and change our body size through dieting, we increase our risk for physiological disease and psychological disorders. Whatever happened to my body, my choice? I just personally like the aesthetic of lean better, and no one wants to be fat. Even fat people don't want to be fat. And why do you think that is?
Yeah, I'm starting to realize this topic could easily just go around in circles. If we really just break it down, I think most people just associate being overweight as being unhealthy. However, even though it could be wrong, it does seem to make sense. For the most part, other humans are attracted to people who look healthy. This is why society often deems wrinkles as unattractive. Often, wrinkles are associated with aging. Thus, mofos will drop racks on pulling their skin back like this. And I guess you can kind of say the same thing with broken out skin, because, I mean, most of the time our brains render when you see broken out skin, you think either like an infection or uncleanliness, when like 9 out of 10 times that's really not the case. I think the same can sometimes be applied with weight, where some people can be healthy but bigger than others, and then you have some people who are bigger because of bad habits and so on. So in a way, if we use the same logic, this fat phobia could also just be wrinkle phobia or acne phobia, if that even makes sense, because often these are things that can be fixed with lifestyle changes, but for some people it has more to do with genetics and circumstances, but there's a lot more.
And why do you think that is? If all of a sudden fat was the beauty standard, would you still want to be thin? What's wrong with wanting to fit a beauty standard? You're wearing makeup. Anybody can wear makeup, regardless of who you are, your political ideology, your sexual orientation, your gender. Anyone can choose whether or not they want to wear makeup. But when we create a standard of beauty that is dependent on factors out of our control, that is oppressive. Oppressed? Anyone can be lean if they put in the work. I'm willing to put in the work. Why should I be punished? Because we don't get to choose thinness the same way we choose to wear makeup. When we engage in dieting activities to change the way our body looks, we increase our risk for diseases and psychological disorders. And if we don't choose thinness, we're subject to oppression. How are fat people oppressed? Pause to read. Okay, and if all that's true, I'm just avoiding that kind of treatment. What's wrong with that?
Okay, so let's see what this is. Okay. Discrimination when seeking medical care, harder time finding work, paid less than thin people, difficult to find clothing that fits, tormented daily due to weight stigma. All right, first we actually have to search up what oppressed is because that word is so overused that I don't even think most people actually understand the meaning of it. Oppressed, subject to harsh and authoritarian treatment. I doubt these points justify that term, but let's go through these terms. Discrimination when seeking medical care. Insurances are businesses. They need to turn a profit to be able to exist. If you're a higher risk for certain diseases, your insurance will cost more. It would be like saying young men are oppressed because they have to pay way more for car insurance, but in reality, young men are in more accidents than any other age or gender group, so the boys win yet again. No, but on a serious note, slow down, guys. Like, I was on the Beltway the other day. I was probably going 10 over, and then out of nowhere, this like bright yellow Mustang flies past me, probably doing double the speed I was going. And I can 100% guarantee you that that was a young male who was driving that car. My name is Anita Sarkeesian if that was not a young male driving that car. Moving on to the next points. Harder time finding work. I don't believe that when most jobs are from home now anyway. But thinking about it, I mean, I guess it depends a little bit on the line of work you want to go into. If your ideal job is to be a track and field runner, you will probably have a hard time getting that job. But for most normal jobs, I don't think weight really affects it. Next point, paid less than thin people. I doubt that because that would be illegal.
I thought you could, like, weight wouldn't be under, like, the discrimination thing, but I don't know.
Yeah. It is. Oh, is it not? Is it legal to pay fat people less?
Oh wait, I guess pay less. Never mind. I'm thinking of.
Wait, what? Weight discrimination's legal in 49 states?
What the?
The more you know. But to counter that point yet again, if I think of like the wealthy people I know, a majority of them are overweight. And then also just like if I just think out like a lot of my friends, the higher earners are often they're on the heftier side.
Well, I mean, they're eating good.
They're eating very good because they can afford to eat good. And often a lot of these people end up working so much, they don't have time to do the other stuff to maintain a solid exercise, healthy life. I mean, it's a time.com article that I found in a quick Google search, so I don't know how accurate this really is. While popular culture continues to perpetuate the notion that fit is preferable to fat, few people are aware that it's legal in 49 states to terminate a person for the unforgivable sin of packing a few extra pounds. Huh, look at that. There is a whole problem with this.
I don't understand getting paid less. What does that mean? Like, if you're working at a job with a thin person, or what is the breakdown on that? I'm actually curious.
In any normal job stance, I don't think that would make sense. If Daniel was fat, that doesn't mean I'll pay him less. Like, what? It just doesn't quite make sense to me why that would be an accurate statistic, even though apparently, according to this Time article, that 49 states legally allow employers to discriminate based on weight.
Imagine your paycheck getting smaller and smaller, and they're like, well, you are kind of packing on a few pounds.
No, but wait, aren't we number one for being like an overweight country? So
no,
like, why
we're
would
like
that...
number 3 or something like that.
We're number 3? Really?
Well, check. Yeah, I think we're like number 3 or 4.
Is America world's fattest country? Holy we're not. That's crazy. See, I thought we would be like close to the top. We're in 12th place. Look at us. We're getting our shit together. Hey, it's the United States of not so fat anymore. Welcome to the new reality, boys. We are not number 1 for fat anymore.
I don't think we have ever been number 1, have we?
I don't know. I thought so. At least when I was like raised in Norway and like all we heard was like over there in America, that's where fat people live.
Yeah, well, good for y'all.
I don't know. It's just like...
It's called propaganda.
Probably is propaganda. I don't know. I feel like every other country just kind of looks at the US as like a bunch of fat people with guns. But we have the freedom to do that. Don't you guys get that? US is all about freedom. You can basically do whatever you want here within legal limitations, obviously. But the next point is difficult to find clothing that fits. All right, I wouldn't really call that oppression. I would just more call that supply and demand. I feel like all of humanity can just be fit into this bell curve where you have the tiniest of people here and you have the largest people over here. Then you just have like the majority kind of here. So I would say that the tiniest of people are struggling equally as hard to find clothes that fit as the largest of people. I wouldn't really call that oppression. I feel like oppression's a little bit far. But hey, I mean, that might be easy for me to say who is not dealing with any of those struggles, thankfully.
if you want to feel terrible about yourself, just try on clothes at Brandy Melville, to be honest.
I could not fit into anything from there,
Well,
I think.
yeah. It's just like, it's awful. It's one size only. So you go in there and you're like sucking in, you're putting on the pants, you're like, they fit.
Now for the final point of oppression, I guess. Tormented daily to weight stigma. Yeah, I can see that being pretty awful. I'm not sure if I'd call that oppression, but it's probably not a fun thing, especially in the social media age where you just sit on this phone that has an algorithm that basically creates your social norms. Yeah, that's probably not a good thing. I see and sympathize with that. But again, I probably wouldn't call that oppression. But hey, that's my take. You could have a completely different opinion. That's completely fine. Let me know in the comments down below what your opinion is. If you enjoyed the video, it'd be awesome if you dropped a like on it. If you're new here, I welcome you to my channel. It'd be awesome if you subscribe. And I'll hopefully see you guys soon in the next video. Peace.